So this is a stock steering bracket. This bolts up to your steering rack, and then your inner tie rods bolt into here, like on each side. One on this side, one on this side. And the aftermarket one, sold by Tegwa, I'll leave a link in the description. It's actually angled up, as you can see. Dang sunlight. It's actually angled up. So this is flat, but that one is angled up. And the reason why you will need this aftermarket one is if you're really slamming your car, because if you don't have one, then your inner tie rods are going to be angled way up, and what ends up happening is that there's too much stress on them, and you might run out of adjustment on your outer tie rod here. So when I installed it, I guess I kind of slammed my car, but when I raised it back up a little bit, I ran out of adjustment. So if you're not lowering your car that much, then you don't need it, honestly. Okay, you're good with the stock one. So right now I'm reinstalling my stock suspension temporarily, hopefully. Hopefully I keep this car and not sell it. And I'm gonna reinstall the stock one. And how you install this aftermarket one is that first you have to remove the outer tie rod right here from your coilover, shocks, or your suspension, whatever you have. So if you need help getting here, then I'll post up a video on how to install coilovers. So then you get your outer tie rod off your coilovers, and then next you remove this thingy right here. Not sure what it's called. I know it's not the sway bar, but so this was actually in here. It was in here, okay, and it's held on by two 12mm bolts on each side. So you take off the 4 bolts and then you can pull it out. Well, actually no, before that, let's remove this heat shield, because this heat shield is actually bolted onto this and the chassis of the car. So you remove this heat shield and you remove this bar, and you will be able to get to it. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm just unbolting it from inside. But what you can do is that you can go get a tool from the AutoZone or something. They let you rent out tools, but it's an inner tie rod remover, and basically you just hook it up so you can remove this inner tie rod easily. My friend's getting it from here right now, from a friend's shop, so I don't have it yet. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm just straight up unbolting the bracket while the inner tie rod is still in. When I installed it though, I removed this first. I'm not really sure which one's easier. Right now this seems a lot easier because I don't have to take this off yet, because I don't have the tool on me. And that's how you do it. Okay, well actually for the stock one, as you can tell, since it's flat, the inner tie rod is in the way of the bolt that bolts it to the steering rack. So you actually have to take the tie rods off first before you take off the bracket if you have the stock one on. By the way, these bolts are actually 17, it's not 16. So here is a direct comparison. As you can see, the angle now, that's flat, this one is angled. Okay, and what you will run into is that the bolt that's on the car mounting the steering bracket to the steering rack is that, look, there's another EP3, is that this is locking washer right here, and the purpose of it is so that it doesn't actually undo itself. So on my car, I only have one because I guess the previous owner messed with it, and you should really have 2 for safety. So this is put on here so that if it loosens itself, it can only loosen so much. And if you install it right, then it'll be touching like this, and so that the bolt can't loosen itself, and that your basically steering bracket doesn't fall off, so that you can still steer and you don't die. So good luck with install.